Welcome to a special edition of the FDR Show. No food, no drinks today. Today we're spotlighting an amazing business here in town, and I wanted to get ready for you to embark on this journey as we go through this amazing discovery of health and wellness with Hands On Wellness Center. Let's go. The FDR Show is all about showing you amazing food, delicious drinks, and giving you the best real estate advice to get what you want with your home. As a busy realtor with over 20 years of experience, I'm out and about experiencing food and helping families with their homes. Join me as we cruise around visiting the best spots and talking shop. Come for the food and drinks and stay for the real estate. Welcome to the FDR Show. Trista, thank you so much for coming on to the show. You're our first episode of our business spotlight. Typically, people are used to seeing food and drinks, but today we're talking about something completely different. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And we've got Trista Shelton with us, owner, operator of this amazing establishment, Hands On Wellness Center. You just celebrated your 24th year?
We did.
How amazing is that? How does that make you feel?
Old. But good. Super excited. I mean, I'm very grateful. I love my patients. My staff is great. You know, I'm in a good spot.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I know I'm one of your patients as well. That's how, we started in this. What led you, how does one decide to go in this route of this particular industry, health and wellness?
My history of headaches in my life, just having headaches my whole life since I was a kid. My mom never had a headache. She took me to every doctor except for a chiropractor because my dad had a horrible experience with one.
Okay.
So I took myself at 18 and just changed my life.
Wow. Isn't that interesting how as our parents or just growing up, right, the things that happen in their lives, then they trickle that down to ours. But then we come to find out, well, wait a minute, that wasn't my deal.
Right.
And then it opens up this whole other avenue for us to kind of pursue.
Right.
And then here you created this amazing establishment out of it.
Yeah, my dad was one of my biggest, best patients, as much, he had a bad time with it, but then once he realized it was just the chiropractor he went to.
That's so awesome.
Which is fairly common in this industry.
Absolutely. Tell us about Hands On Wellness in terms of the services you offer, because this is more than just a chiropractic company.
It's wellness, right? So I started off as chiropractic, had some massage, and then rolled into acupuncture. We also have a naturopath. We have an energy worker who's a medium as well.
So naturopath, hold on, I'm going to pause you. Naturopath, what does that mean so our viewers kind of have an understanding?
She heals all things via natural medicines, not medicines, just everything natural. So she'd give you a better description, but she tests spit and urine and sees if what's going in matches what's coming out, and then helps you kind of regulate
your
based
levels.
On that. But it's all natural stuff, dandelion root, milk thistle, and things that are not medicine.
So if you don't want to get hopped up on drugs and medicine, you come here and you can get hopped up on the natural stuff to really make your body work. That's what you're saying. Okay, awesome. And then the other services you were getting into, you have?
Acupuncture. So Dr. Angeli, she's amazing, been doing it for a long time. She deals with allergies, infertility, pain, all sorts of stuff.
Wow. Now you have some fun toys back there. I've played with some of them.
Careful.
I know. One of my favorites is the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. That's how we met because of my shoulder surgery injury, and I could not get anything going, and my physical therapist said, you cannot touch anything because you're too inflamed. Lo and behold, I come here, you have this. So tell us about the hyperbaric oxygen therapy chamber.
Well, I mean, there's all different kinds of chambers. There's stronger, less strong, all that stuff. So, I mean, the whole purpose is to decrease inflammation. You're in there breathing 97% pure oxygen for about an hour, a little over an hour. In our world, we breathe, I believe it's 21%. I could be wrong now. I'm a little nervous on this one, but no. So we get in there and you drop a couple atmospheres so that your cells shrink and make room for all that oxygen to go in and get into everything. It's amazingly healing for concussions, like immediate changes you see in people. So we get a lot of the sports kids in the day of. It's great for heart attack, stroke, Bell's palsy, things like that. You get really, really fast recovery rates with those just from oxygen. So again, we are all about no meds. As much as you can heal yourself from within and not take stuff is our obvious way we promote things. There's a great saying in chiropractic is the power that made the body heals the body. So we try and follow that. A lot of chiropractors have gone away from that and do a lot of other stuff. We we don't do that.
Yeah.
Kind of stuck with it, and it's worked for us.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, when I first named the place, I knew hands-on because there's different chiropractic methods. People use computers, they use the activators, they use other things. And my belief and what's always worked for me is just like putting hands on people, which I think is important.
Absolutely. And then you get their energy, you get a sense of what works, what doesn't work, right? I know I was also noticing you have this machine back there where you sit down and you jiggle, or no, you stand up. Tell me about that. What's that about?
So it's turbosonic. So it is speaker coils essentially in the base of that platform that you stand on. And it just levels everything out is the purpose. So I tried it years. I've had it for years. It's a great machine. They have those vibra plates and things that you do for working out. This is different. Similar but very different. So there's way more technology in this. They use a lot of NASA technology. Their company claims that they help keep people in space, non-weight bearing for all the days by doing these sorts of therapies. So it's most helpful for people that don't work out, that can't walk, that can't really exercise. So 10 minutes on that is equivalent to an hour and a half workout on a cellular level, not on a calorie burning or like workout level, but just more stimulating cells. And
understood. So people who can't walk, not necessarily who don't want to. So like I wouldn't qualify because I don't want to exercise, but if I can sit on that machine and you could jiggle all this fat off of me, I think
it's not the old rip. But but it also helps with joints because it's kind of like how you shake a cup of sugar or flour to get it to even out. It's that same concept. So it's trying to even things out, and so it'll purge. So the cells, some of it you hit some pretty interesting bumps on that, and when it does that, your cells they contract. So they'll get rid of some of the toxins and some of that extra fluid. So you do tend to pee a little more. So there's some weight loss.
There's some benefits. Absolutely. That is so cool because I don't see that in many places that we go. And, this journey I was going on from breaking my back and my shoulder, you go to different spots where, they have the different toys that you play with. That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. So that was really cool. So we got acupuncture, we got chiropractic, we have the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, you have the...
I have 6 massage therapists that are all amazing.
I was going to say, you have some amazing massage therapists here as well because my wife comes here.
And she
I heard
she was very happy.
Yes, very happy. So that's a good thing too. I can't wait to get a massage myself. I'm still kind of on that, finishing up physical therapy, so I don't want to mess myself up anymore, but looking forward to that. So that's what I mean by an array of different options that you have here. It's not just coming in for chiropractic, right? So outside of that, I mean, as health and wellness, because you hear a lot about this everywhere now, right? Everyone's talking about health and wellness and so forth. How has chiropractic and that industry kind of changed, and how have you evolved with it? I mean, obviously you're standing the test of time. 24 plus years in the business, that's a big deal.
Trying.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to evolve with it, right? Like if I was just chiropractic, I shouldn't say it like that, but it would be difficult. The cost of living, the cost of rent, the cost of everything, right? The insurances aren't as nice as they used to be, and with this economy, it's hard. So years ago I diversified and just knew I had to create more under one roof, and everyone's definition of wellness is different.
Right.
What I need to be well is different than what you need, what anybody needs, right? So I feel like I try and bring just really trustworthy, good humans in here to work with and work for the community. Anybody that I bring in, I trust implicitly. I have my family see them. They treat my children. You
take them through a vetting process that you're just not letting anybody come here.
My massage therapists they're so great. I go to these spas just to kind of do some recon sometimes, and I'm always angry when I leave because they're horrible, and I just spent so much money, and I just realized how underpaid my staff is. I'm just kidding. Right. I'm just kidding. You get paid very well.
They see this, by the way.
But no, they're great, and they are all good humans. Like I feel at this point, like that's one of my biggest things. I'm just really proud of my staff, and they're all good people.
And it shows. I mean, when you come in here, everyone is smiling, everyone's happy to do something, and that speaks volumes of someone's business is their people, right? You as the founder, the business owner, you're expected to do that, but when your team's doing it, especially when you're not around, that's always something to admire and see. And it's hard. Let me ask you this question, being a little bit more specific. What would you say is like one of your favorite success stories that really kind of captivates the experience that people have here from your view as the business owner?
I mean, I don't know if I have one. I mean, I have a gentleman who had a traumatic brain injury who the chamber has helped him tons, you know. A lot of headaches, a lot of kids. Like we have a lot of kids, a lot of babies, you know, with just won't eat, won't go to the bathroom. Like I think those are my favorites. Not that I don't love the bigs. I love the littles a little bit more.
Hey, the big guys, we need love too, but I get it. And I think what you're really saying hits home because so many people tend to think, I got to go to the doctor. Right? Whereas they're usually, and I'm not knocking doctors, but you know.
I have great friends that are medical doctors.
Same here. I've got great friends, great clients. But at the same time, there's so many other avenues for people to pursue for the health and well-being of whether it be them or their children. And that's really neat to know because I think people get an idea that, oh, wait, I could bring when I was here earlier, one of your younger clients, she's an athlete, she was on this machine that was, I mean, you tell me what it was actually doing, but I know she had these pads on her. She's a flag football star, volleyball, and soccer. I mean, she was still in her cleats. So I know she's a star. What was she doing? She was doing
electric stimulation, which we do after the adjustment to help pump out any more swelling. We use ice just to calm down muscles if they're irritated. To me, I like to have people lay down for a few minutes after the adjustment because it makes everything settle in. Right? Most people leave and do the same things they've done all day long. So they carry their purse on the same side, their wallet on the same, they sit in the car the same. Like everything they do, it doesn't have to be traumatic that leads you to need an adjustment. You know, it's just doing the same thing over and over and over. And so
every day just kind of wanted to feel good. Right? That's
we just component. Even things out. Like the littles, we don't tend to do the electric stim, but she's 12. So, but
that's so awesome.
Because she gets excited. She, you know, like, I get parents all the time that are like, oh my gosh, she's been begging me to bring her in all week. I'm like, yes.
That's awesome.
I'm like, keep bugging.
Exactly.
But I mean, we have, the babies are what the great part is. These doctors tell them they can go a week without pooping. That's not normal. You know, so they bring them in, they get an adjustment. There's no popping. It's just the movement, and they'll poop in the office half the time.
That's so cool.
It is cool.
I love that kind of conversation because then it just creates more depth for people to see what other options are out there for them. You know, because I feel like today in an age where so much information is free, right? You can go Google this. And that's what most people do, right? But I believe
WebMD. Don't get on WebMD, you're dying.
I believe, same thing with my line of work, right? With real estate. It's like, don't go here and think that's what the answer is. But I believe I believe that when information just becomes this readily available and free, that's where like specialized knowledge becomes key. And that's definitely what you have here in terms of health and wellness. And that's really cool. Not everybody really has that opportunity to do that. So kudos to you. It's one of the reasons that we are here. And outside of just what you do on a normal basis, I notice you have a lot of different products throughout your building here. Like, tell me a little bit about that. Like, I see supplements, I see pillows. I see, like, what's all that stuff, if you don't mind me asking?
Supplements, we don't do that many. We do some tried and true basics, some orthomolecular stuff, which I like. I like stuff that you can't buy on Amazon.
Cool.
And that is reputable and uses good ingredients, that sort of stuff. We're a fan of Juice Plus, which now people are becoming more aware of these sorts of things. It's just fruits and veggies. But after that, we just do pillows, ice packs. It's really it. We don't have a lot of...
I say a lot because I've been to other places and it's just a hole in the wall, couple of rooms, looks a little shoddy, but you're still going to go in and get an adjustment and then you're in and out. Whereas here, I feel like you want to kind of try everything out because you have so many different facets here, which is really nice for having an establishment like this. And, you know, from your perspective, are there any challenges that you face while you've been growing this, you know, health and wellness center essentially? And if so, like, how have you overcome them? Because not every business owner can last 20-something years, especially in this climate.
I mean, I think diversifying, right? I mean, I was down the street for 10 years by that In-N-Out there. And the rent was very high and it was difficult. And I tried to expand and they just wasn't the right timing for them or for me. So we bumped down here 14 years ago and I was a little worried because it's more of an industrial center versus that kind of retail, which... But I didn't really need. And actually, we got busier because the center, people hate that center so crazy busy, right? And so it dropped my rent tremendously, which helped. And, you know, because it was in '09. Which, you know, things were, you know, we were all trying to stay in business. I think diversifying has been my biggest friend. You know, not just not having my ego of the chiropractic being the only thing, you know, and just allowing other businesses to be a part of it. And that's been huge. And I'm so grateful, you know, and just finding the right people. It's been good. I mean,
because you do that. I mean, you're just not chiropractic.
No.
Right? You have all these other services,
Right.
and it shows how versatile you are, but then also so that your clientele can come in and experience something a little bit different. Maybe they do a massage, but then after they want to do an adjustment. After the adjustment, they want to try out some oxygen therapy.
Right.
After that, maybe they're in a dark place right now and they want to talk with your life coach. Like, that is so cool to have that on hand. I mean, in my industry, the real estate industry, you would have a ton of clients because most of them are so screwed up mentally.
We all are.
So you want to definitely have that kind of, opportunities for them and come and check out.
Well, and I think not everybody loves chiropractic. Like, I get it, you know? And we don't ever, like, if you want to come in and do a massage, do a massage. I'm not going to make you get adjusted. And I hear a lot of times that people are like, oh, he made me. And I'm like, just tell me what you want. I'm good. Just tell me what you want, you know? Like, to me, it's what's going to make you feel better. Like, I'm not going to tell you what you're going to do to feel better. Like, let's figure this out, you know? I mean, if chiropractic doesn't work for you, then let's try acupuncture. If that's not your jam, let's, try something else. I don't know.
Right.
You know, to each his own. It's all...
Definitely. Well, you have a lot of options for people to look at, so that's kind of nice. What would you say for yourself, someone who's never been to a hands-on wellness center, maybe even at a chiropractic, like, what would they need to know to want to come in here and just check it out, in your opinion?
What they need to know? I don't know. You can, like, I would say at least 80% of my practice is wellness.
Okay.
So people don't come in with pain. They come in because they know they feel better, they sleep better, they eat, they function better, they can work better, they can work out better, they whatever, they come in for a better quality of life. So we call it wellness visits instead of maintenance, you know. You don't really need anything. And I mean, the best thing to me is, like, I'll have people come in, they're like, I almost canceled. I felt pretty good today. I don't think I need it. Yeah. And then I adjust them and they stand up and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. I'm like, you almost canceled.
I know, right? Yeah.
So it's, well, I mean, I always tell people, like, people are so afraid of the neck, right? Like, that's a huge thing. Oh, don't do my neck. And I'm like, okay, but listen, everything starts in the brain. Like, I guess I could tell people this. Like, one of the biggest things I tell people is the purpose of the chiropractor is to make your brain, or let your brain talk to your body better. Right? The brain is in charge. It has so much to tell your body to do. Right. And if something, it has to come down your spinal cord, and every single segment is where all that information goes out and goes to do its job. Yeah. If there's something stuck, pinched, or just in the wrong spot, it prohibits that information from getting out to where it needs to go. Sometimes you get a muscle spasm. Sometimes you get you get organ dysfunction. So you get all sorts of stuff. Right. So we just want to make sure that all that information can get where it needs to go. If you're brain dead, but all your organs are perfect, you're donating them. Because your brain has to get the messages out, right? So as morbid as I think that sounds, like, my point is, like, give your body the best chance to work. Yeah. I mean, fight off disease, which we've all seen over the last few years, right? I mean, but just mostly to just let it function better, you know? I mean, I have so many clients that are, retired, and they feel like garbage.
Right. And I guess that for me is so important that you touched on that, because I feel like my parents, probably your parents, they grew up in an era where, hey, you just tough it out.
Right.
Your body just sacrifice. You're going to feel like
get back
shit.
Out there. You're
but
fine.
Just get back out there, because you need to pay for your mortgage. Your kids need this. Right. And so...
Well, and that's still an important factor, right? But
it is.
There's a balance.
Yes.
Like, my other favorite saying is, fine's a 4-letter F word. Like, don't hang it fine. Fine sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Like, at least get to good. Yes. Right? Like, if you ask your wife and she says fine, you're in trouble.
We got a problem. Yeah,
right?
we got a big problem.
Nobody wants to be fine.
Right, exactly.
But so many people live in fine. Like, don't be fine.
Right, or worse, right? So it's like,
yes.
Come in, meet with you, have a consultation, see how you can feel even better. Right. Don't wait till you're in, a ton of pain, right?
In crisis care.
That's what most people think, right? Only when I'm in crisis. Right. That's when I come to a place like this one. That's just not the case, right?
No. And that's what we really try to teach people, right? Is like, don't react, act. Like, choose your path ahead of time. Right. Don't be forced into something. Like, choose it. Like, feel better, right? I mean, so we try and get people to good, at least.
Yeah, and I think it's okay, and I think you guys do this very well, to remind people that, hey, you know what? It's okay to feel good, right? Because so many people forget that. Like, I have to go get a massage and feel good for that one moment. Not really. If you consistently come, try out the different services, it's kind of interesting. You can feel good all week for a couple, and then you're gonna want to come back, right? So, and then tell me this, because it's been great learning more about you, your business. You do a lot for the community. And so, the interesting thing was, Trista, when I had posted a picture of us here when I was doing my recovery, I must have had a dozen people text me oh my God, Trista's amazing. Oh my God, you go there. And I'm like, when the hell, why didn't you tell me?
Right.
You've been coming here this whole time. So I want you to know that if you don't know, which I'm sure you do, a ton of people are big fans of yours.
That.
So whatever you're doing, just keep at it.
Thank you.
And then for people that haven't been here, share with them location and then hours of operation. Where can they find you online? You know, social media, that kind of stuff.
We're at Kellogg on the Palma, Anaheim Hills Business Center. We've been here 14 years.
Where can people find you on social media?
Social media, Hands On Wellness Center. Facebook, Hands On Wellness Center.
Okay.
Our website's being redone right now, so we won't throw that out there.
So on Instagram, you're at Hands On Wellness Center?
I hope so.
Perfect. So make sure you give them a follow. We'll put it up here on the actual video so that they know where to go. They'll give you a follow. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've had a great time, Trista.
Thank you.
It's been awesome.
I appreciate you
so
very much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed this show and you want to see more great foodie spots and learn some tips about real estate, hit the subscribe button below, smash that bell, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.